chapel bell was a blackbird call over the creek and the cedar wall. Dust on my boots, sun in the leaves, a quiet kind of question breathing under me. The hills stood still with their hands held wide. Clouds moved slow like thoughts in sight. Some days the sky feels close and kind. Some days it will not answer mine. A sparrow rose from the roadside grain like a little prayer with no given name. Maybe the truth is a seed in the ground, too small to see, but still reaching out. Hold me near, wide open land. Teach my heart what it can't understand. When doubt runs deep and the river winds, leave me a small light in the pines. The fire burned low by the edge of the trees. Ash in the air, smoke on my sleeve. Stars came down with their patient eyes. No word from heaven, but a holy quiet. The moon on the field was a silver thread, stitch in the dark where my fear had spread. Every branch leaned over the stream, like it knew the weight of an unfinished dream. A sparrow rose from the roadside grain like a little prayer with no given name. Maybe the truth is a seed in the ground, too small to see, but still reaching out. Hold me near, wide open land. Teach my heart what it can't understand. When doubt runs deep and the river winds, leave me a small light in the pines. Let wonder come, let wonder stay, like morning grass along the way. No thunder spoke, no mountain moved, only the leaves and the light came through. That was enough for a tired soul, a simple flame, a hand to hold. Hold me near, wide open land. Teach my heart what it can't understand. When doubt runs deep and the river winds, leave me a small light in the pines.
The trail runs thin where the pine trees lean. Dust on my boots and smoke in my sleeve. A field turns gold in the low sunbeam, like something I lost but still believe. The hills stay quiet, the grass grows high. A crow cuts slow through the amber sky, and every stone by the roadside knows how far a heart can go. I pass the creek where the map line ends, flat water shining through Leave the smoke in the past, let the old road roll. Let the valley dust settle where the quiet goes. I'm only a breath where the long hills lie, a little bit lost under so much sky. Still the grass keeps bending low, and the small stones hold what I don't know. By the fire, the night turns slow. Sparks lift up, then fade. Some things leave without letting go. Some things learn to stay. Leave the smoke in the past, let the old road roll. Let the valley dust settle where the quiet goes. I'm only a breath where the long hills lie, a little bit lost under so much sky.
Past the sawmill road where the briar vines climb, the fields turn gold in the slant of time. A trail cuts low through the cottonwood shade, where the creek keeps count of the tracks we made. The old barn leans with its roof half gone, still holding dust from a younger dawn. Some childhood sound in the grass runs free, like a far-off bell that remembers me. There's a fire by the stones where the ridge grass bends, and the smoke drifts on where the daylight ends. Pine trees breathe with their dark green lungs, while the night comes soft with its cricket tongues. No answer waits at the top of the hill, just open air and a heart gone still. The road behind has a weathered song, saying you can leave and still belong. Every mile takes a little away, every field gives a little back. Faith walks barefoot through the clay, doubt leaves prints on the same dirt track. Lay my questions in the meadow grass, let the slow creek carry the years that pass. All I held and all I outgrew turns to dust in the evening blue, small as a seed under fading light. Still the ground keeps holding me right. Maybe home is a path, not a door, a line of smoke from a low fire's core. Maybe time is a bird in the grain, gone from sight but heard again. Lay my questions in the meadow grass, let the slow creek carry the years that pass. Small as a seed under fading light, still the ground keeps holding me right.
walnut trees where the red dirt bends. A narrow trail runs out of town. The meadow hums where the daylight ends, and the fence posts lean like they're bowing down. A lunch pail rests by the tractor shed, half buried deep in the Johnson grass. Childhood speaks in the path ahead, but it never asked me to turn back fast. There's a low fire set where the ridge drops white smoke moving slow through the cedars seam. The stars come loose on the darker side like stones at the bottom of some old dream. No church bell rings from the fields below, no bright sign burns in the open air. Just a night bird calling where the creek runs slow, and the sound of my breath becoming prayer. The more the dust remembers, some things leave without a name, some keep glowing the embers. The hill kept my name in the tall grass there, in the root and the stone and the evening air. All I lost when walking through the pines, all I found came back in lines. Small as a spark, still hard to tame. My maybe doubt is a door with no handle shown. Maybe faith is a hand on the ground. Every road that made me feel alone left a quiet way back to be found. The hill kept my name in the tall grass there, in the root and the stone and the evening air. Ooh. The hill kept my name in the tall grass there, in the root and the stone and the evening air. Small as a spark, still hard to tame. I came back changed, but the hill kept my name.
The screen door stuck when I came through. Same bed hinge, same kitchen light. Your old blue mug by the window view, dusted over but sitting right. The auction sign leaned in the yard, painted red on a broken stake. All the rooms felt twice as hard with every box I had to take. The cedar chest held church clothes still, buttons loose in a paper sack. Mama's hymn book on the sill, sunburned gold along the back. I packed the plates in yesterday's news, wrapped each cup and marked it glass. Kept one spoon with the handle bruised, left the rest for whoever asked. Let the house breathe out, let the screen door swing, let the dust slide down where the rafters ring. There's love in a room you don't have to keep. There's peace in the floorboards under your feet. No need to carry every wall. Some homes are held by leaving small. The neighbor's dog barked once, then quit. The road went quiet past the gate. I found your coat where you used to sit, one torn sleeve and a rusted weight. A receipt from June was folded there for nails and bread and kerosene. I put it back with careful care, like something that still knew what it means. Let the house breathe out, let the screen door swing, let the dust slide down where the rafters ring. There's love in a room you don't have to keep. There's peace in the floorboards under your feet. No need to carry every wall. by leaving small. Set it down, flat on the table by the phone. The late sun moved across the town like it could find its way alone. Let the house breathe out, let the screen door swing, let the dust slide down where the rafters ring. There's love in a room you don't have to keep. There's peace in the floorboards under your feet. No need to carry every wall. Some homes are held by leaving small. The screen door closed, but not too tight, and the porch went soft in evening light. Path ran gold past the live oak line, with dust in the laces and seams. A kestrel turned where the day declined, over fields gone quiet and green. The fire burned low in a circle of stone, while smoke rode thin in the air. Somewhere inside, like an old field road, a younger voice answered there. Back home by the shed where the wild figs grew, we scratched our names in the pine. A coffee tin held a marble or two, a button, feather, a dime. Now weeds lean in where the porch boards bow, and the screen door hangs by a chain. The past don't speak in a thundercloud, it taps in the dust after rain. Past the last mailbox, the dark field spread, with a breath too wide for sound. Maybe heaven is not overhead, but under this broken ground. Let the lantern burn small where the hillside sleeps. Let the questions loosen their names, where the bent grass hums and the shadow keeps what the stones remember of rain. I came out here with a heart full of weeds, and a road still calling me plain. Smoke curls up, then the smoke comes loose. No choir, no bell, no sign, just a cricket song and the worn out truth that the dark has its own kind of shine. Let the lantern burn small where the hillside sleeps. Let the questions loosen their names, where the bent grass hums and shadow keeps what the stones remember of rain.
past thistle, dust and pine, a meadowlark cut through the evening green. Like a match across a line, my shadow walked on the gravel scene, with the slow hill taking its time. The creek below held a copper gleam and kept it better than mine. There used to be chalk on the barn red wall, small names in a crooked row, a rope in the oak where the children would call and scatter where fireflies glow. The house still stands, but the rooms feel far, and the gate hangs low from the chain. Some years move on like a leaving car, some stay in the dust and grain. Out past the place where the phone lines and the fields go quiet and wide. A breath can feel like a long lost friend walking close to your side. Let the low light lead me on, where the stones remember rain, where the trail keeps bending after gone, and the grass grows over pain. No voice came down, no sign was drawn, just the road still spoke my name. Smoke from the fire made a crooked hymn, then loosened into the trees. Faith felt small at the daylight's rim, but it stayed there breathing with me. Let the low light lead me on, where the stones remember rain. No voice came down, no sign was drawn, just the road still spoke my name.
At the bend beyond the quarry where the sweet grass leans, the road runs quiet through the summit greens. A tin cup hangs from a nail in the shed, with a ring of dust where the rain once bled. The fields still carry what the young years knew, in the cricket song dark and the morning. Every stone on the path feels worn and wise, like a small old truth under open skies. There's a fire on the ridge where the pine roots twist, and the smoke drifts up like a name in mist. The valley below turns golden gray, like a map of the things time carried away. No answer falls from the stars overhead, just the soft creek talking through its shallow bed. So the boots keep time with the dust and loam, and the far hills whisper me back toward home. And the farther I walk, the less I know, but the grass keeps bending where the trail wind slowed out comes near, with its quiet flame, and faith walks beside it without a name. pocket full of clay, a childhood voice in the grass by the way. Not every lost thing leaves the ground. Some turn to roots without a sound. Hold me low where the field light fades. Let the wide road take what I can't explain. Small as a breath in the evening air, still the earth keeps saying I belong somewhere.
Coastal road in the morning haze, paper map folded on my knees. Grass lies flat from the passing days, smoke hangs thin in the cedar trees. Far behind in the window glow burns the porch light low. Dust on the old town signs, river bends where the road turns plain. Pine shadows cross the county line, soft rain taps on the window pane. Every field wears a muted gold, like a story half told. Nothing calls but the hills reply. One small bird cuts the open sky. Some things leave without a sound, some things stay in the ground. Keep the porch light low, let it burn through the rain. Let the old road hum with the dust and the grain. All the years go by with a soft, steady sound, like quiet water working through the ground. No voice tells me which way to go, just the porch light low. Open windows breathe over wooden rooms. Firelight shakes in the evening bloom. The map folds small, but the hills stay wide. A little lake walks at my side. Keep the porch light low, let it burn through the rain. Let the old road hum with the dust and the grain. All the years go by with a soft, steady sound, like quiet water working through the ground, working through the ground, working through the
The trail cut low through the foxglove shade, where the dust rose soft from the ground. A lonesome jay in the cedar braid kept calling the miles around. And my boots knew more than my mouth could say. with birds in the heel and the seam. The hills lean close at the end of day, like pages torn out of a dream. There once was a shed by the cottonwood line, with nails gone loose in the rain. A coffee can full of our childhood signs, old buttons, a key and a chain. The path back there has grown over now, with grass to the windowsill. But memory walks with a hand on the plow, turning the same dirt still. Out where the road lets the houses go, the silence has something to teach. Some answers move like the river below, always close, just out of reach. Lay me down where the field grass bends, where the firelight loosens the dark. Let the smoke rise slow with my loose thread ends. Let the stones keep a piece of the spark. No map ever says where a worn soul mends, but the trail knows the shape of the mark. Prayer can sound like a breath through pine, then fade with the embers glow. Faith is a gate with a rusted sign, still swinging where no road shows. Lay me down where the field grass bends, where the firelight loosens the dark. No map ever says where a worn soul mends, but the trail knows the shape of the cattle gate, the evening laid its copper on the right. Swallow stitched the low road to a widening sky. Granddad's shed stood leaning, full of dust and twine. Every nail a little clock, every board a line. Barefoot days went drifting through the weeds behind the mill, with a jar for creekstone treasure and a pocket full of hill. Now the same light finds me older on the path beyond the grain, counting rings inside the silence, counting reasons in the rain. At the trailhead past the quarry, where the foxglove shadows fall, a fire keeps a circle on the stones beside the wall. Smoke climbs like a question that the dark won't answer back, while the moon lays broken silver on the narrow logging track. There are names carved in the cedar, almost swallowed by the bark, like the cells we leave behind us when we walk into the dark. Still the ground gives up a kindness with each slow and steady stride, and the hills hold all my doubting like
like a hand I cannot hide. The farther down the dirt road, the nearer it seems to the house in the grasses and the barefoot dreams. Every mile says leave, every hill says stay, till the dusk folds the distance away. Carry me slow where the field roads run, past the bent fence line and the sinking sun. Let the dark pines breathe what I can't say. Let the creek take the years downstream and away, small in the silence, but not alone. The dust remembers the way back home. Baby prayer is a match held low to the ground. Not a voice from above, just a listening sound. Maybe doubt is a trail through grass overgrown, and every step cuts a way of its own. Carry me slow where the field roads run. Let the dark pines breathe what I can't say. Small in the silence, but not alone. The dust remembers the way back home.
Low clouds lean on the coastal road, grasping soft by the leaning stone. Morning haze where the marsh birds go, one small track with no name shown. Pine smoke thins by the open door, floorboards breathe like before. Paper maps on the kitchen chair, fading trails in a line of dust. Soft rain taps at the window there, old tin cups gather quiet rust. Empty fields hold the evening plain, nothing has to remain. The sound so slow, distant hills keep their faded blue. Hours pass where the cattails grow, like they always knew. Quiet water carry the day under low clouds slipping away. No bright answer, no heavy sign, just the shore and the turning pine. All that passes, nobody knows where quiet water goes. Firelight moves on the wooden wall, open windows take the rain. Field bird lifts, then nothing at all. the day under low clouds slipping away. All that passes, nobody knows where quiet water goes. At the edge of the trail where the oak root showed, dust on my cuffs from the county lane. A red-winged bird crossed the grass below, like a thought I couldn't hold by name. The fire ring slept by the river bend, ash gone gray in the evening clear. Stone sat close like a row of friends, holding still for another year. There was a field where the school road ran, past split rail posts and a rusted sign. Bare feet once followed the creek bed sand, before the days drew a harder line. Now the pines throw shade on the same old ground, and the hill grass brushes my open hand. Every step makes a softer sound, like time walked back through the land. No hymn came down from the cedar height, no answer rose from the clay, just a hawk held steady in the light, then turned and drifted away. Let the long hill keep my name, let the dust go back to the road. I was young when the wild grass came, now it bends where the old years go. Small as smoke in the white blue frame, let the long hill keep my name. Firelight moved through the maple leaves, one spark climbed and disappeared. Some old ache went out with the breeze, some stayed quiet here. Let the long hill keep my name, let the dust go back to the road. Small as smoke in the white blue frame, now it bends where the old years go.
There's a path behind the pasture where the cedar branches lean, where the dust lifts up like prayer in the space between green. Old stones keep their silence by the roots beneath the hill. And the creek talks to the evening when the rest of town is still. Bare feet knew the ground before my name had any weight. Before the road grew longer, before I learned to wait. Now the grass folds down behind me like a page I used to know. And the fields hold all my questions in the amber afterglow. There's a fire beside the timber where the sparks rise soft and slow, like the years I thought I'd carry, like the ones I had to let go. My father's laugh was somewhere in the smoke above the pine, a porch light in the distance, a hand through passing time. The hills don't give an answer, but they keep me walking on, with the trail dust on my jacket and the low birds almost gone. Maybe home is not a doorway, not a roof against the rain, but a voice inside the quiet saying you can start again. And the road bends wide and disappears past the fence line of my younger years, in the hush beneath the open blue. There's a small truth coming through. Let the long grass know my name. Let the river take the blame for all I lost and couldn't keep, for all that wakes me out of sleep. I'm only dust and breath and bone, but the wide earth walks me home. Every shadow has a shape before it fades into the light. Every mile becomes a memory if you walk it through the night. Faith is just a lantern when the trail is hard to see, not a fire that proves the dark is gone, but enough to carry me. Let the long grass know my name. Let the river take the blame. I'm only dust and breath and bone, but the wide earth walks me home.
The trail leaned west through shoulder-high grass, where cedar roots lifted the clay. A red-tailed hawk made a slow white pass, then slipped through the ambering day. There was soot on my sleeve from a roadside fire, and dust in the seams of my clothes. The hills kept breathing like some tired choir, singing low where the small fire goes. Back home, there was a gate by the field. It groaned when the evening would lean. A child could run with a pine cone shield through acres of shoulder-deep green. And now that road bends by the boarded-up store, past weeds in the window and stone. The years don't knock on the old screen door, they just leave their shoes by the road. And asks would I still believe when the dust comes down through the trees. Carry me slow where the small fire goes past the pines in the low dusty light. I'm learning the shape of the things I don't know, with the ground holding on to my stride. If home is a voice that the far hills know, let it call from the edge of the night. Just ember and stone. Maybe faith is the trail disappearing there and walking it anyway, alone. Carry me slow where the small fire goes past the pines and the low dusty light. If home is a voice that the far hills know, let it call from the edge of the night.
The road ran thin where the pasture bent, with birds in the cuffs of my jeans. A crow took flight from a fence post and stitched itself into the green. My pack was light, but my chest felt full of words that were never said. The creek moved under the sycamore pool like a prayer in a riverbed.
Back home the porch had a broken stair. It sang when the screen door swung. The maples held all the evening air in jars of shadow and sun. We buried coins by the garden wall to find when our hands grew old. The weeds grew high and the house grew small, and the dirt kept what it was told. Out past the fields where the dust rose wind, silence walks with a patient tread. The farther I go, the more I find the boy I was still up ahead. So let the white land carry my name, where the grass leans low in the light. Every stone I pass feels almost the same as a memory learning to rise. There's no clear voice, no burning flame, just the trail and the breath and the sky.
drawn quiet by an unseen hand. Oh, let the white land carry my name, where the grass leans slow in the light. There's no clear voice, no burning flame, just the trail and the breath and the sky.
There's a footpath past the orchard where the tall weeds hide the lane, and the fence posts lean like elders with their shoulders full of rain. A dust road hums at sundown through the clover and the stone, like it knows the names of children who have all grown up and gone. The sycamores stand quiet with their hands against the light, holding bits of summer in the blue edge of the night. Somewhere near the creek bed where the minnows used to gleam, a younger voice is calling from the far side of a dream. Now a fire burns low beside me where the cedar shadows sway, and the smoke goes looking upward in a thin and crooked way. The hills don't offer answers, only room to breathe and stand, with a little honest silence and the dirt beneath my hands. There are miles I kept on walking just to prove that I could leave. There are roots I still remember when the grass pulls at my sleeve. Maybe time is just a river with no mercy and no blame, taking every stone we carry, leaving music in its name. And the trail bends down where the dark pines grow, past the fields I thought I'd outgrown. Every step sounds soft but true, like the earth knows what to do. Let the lo-fi fade, let the wide road roll, let the creek stones turn what I can't control. All I've lost goes drifting slow through the tall grass, row by row, small as a spark in the evening air. Still there's a path, and I'm walking there. Maybe faith is not thunder, not a sign across the sky, just a moth near the landing, still circling the why. Maybe doubt is the distance that teaches the feet how to follow the dust where the old roads meet. Let the low fire fade, let the wide road roll, let the creek stones turn what I can't control. Small as a spark in the evening air, still there's a path and I'm walking there.
The trail runs south where the live oaks lean past red clay banks in a pasture green. A raven lives from a cedar post like a thought once held and trusted most. The grass lies bent in the shape of feet by the cattle pond in the broken seat. There's dust in my lungs, there's sun on the stone, and a wordless song walking me alone.
By the firing low, where the hill grass sways, smoke climbs soft through the last gold rays. No bright voice calls from the open height, just a moth in the glow and the slow breathed night.
The road behind has a child's faint sound, like a tin wheel turning on uneven ground. The years move on like a creek through clay, taking what they must, leaving songs in the way. And the dark comes down without a name, over thorn and thistle, ash and flame. Doubt walks close, but it walks in time with the worn out rhythm of these boots of mine. Let the small fire fade, let the ridge wind rise, let the stars look down with their patient eyes. All that I carried, all I couldn't keep, settles like seed where the roots run deep. No map, no answer, no door made clear, just the ground saying softly, you are here. Maybe faith is a chapel made of sage, a torn field note on a weathered page. Maybe home is the bend in the trail where the breath grows steady and the shadows pale. Let the ridge wind rise, let the stars look down with their patient eyes. No map, no answer, no door made clear, just the ground saying softly, you are here.
Beyond the bluff, where the switchgrass sways, a foot trail fades through the sumac haze. The sun hangs low on the quarry stone, like an old brass coin the day has thrown. A crow calls out from a leaning pine, and the dust keeps time with these boots of mine. The fields look back with their amber eyes, holding childhood under wider skies. There's a fire set low where the creek bends east, and smoke climbs soft like a word released. A map in my pocket, is torn and thin, with a thumb-worn road where the years sink in. No answer waits at the timberline, just a moth in the glow and the smell of pine. Still the ground feels steady beneath each scar, and the hills seem close, though the stars feel far. The farther the gravel, the quieter the blame, the more every shadow remembers my name. Doubt walks beside me without making sound. Faith is a lantern held close to the ground. Let the warm road lead where the dark trees bend. Let the creek take time like a long lost friend. All that I carried, all I couldn't say, falls like dry leaves over root and grave. Small as a spark in the dust blue air, still the trail keeps breathing me somewhere. Maybe home is a smoke line barely seen, over hill, grass, gold and cedar green. Maybe loss is a seed in the clay, waiting for light in its own slow way. Let the worn road lead where the dark trees bend. Let the creek take time like a long lost friend. Small as a spark in the dust blue air, still the trail keeps breathing me somewhere. Past the mill road where the sumac bends low, the trail takes its time where the tall grasses grow. Dust on my boots and a stone in my hand, like a piece of the past I could still understand. The fields had my childhood in pockets of light, in the calls of the crows and the porch lamps at night. Now the hills keep breathing where the old fences lean, and the boy I once was somewhere unseen. By a small fire's glow at the edge of the trees, smoke writes a prayer in the slow-moving breeze. No answer comes down from the wide open blue, just the sound of the creek making old things feel true. The road can be honest when a house cannot speak. It shows every turn, every rise, every creek. So I follow the gravel till the daylight runs thin, with a quiet kind of mercy settling under my skin. Maybe faith is a footstep, not a flame in the sky. Maybe doubt is the hawk circling high. Both of them follow dark trail bend. Let the long fields carry what I can't defend. All that I've lost, all I can't explain, falls like dust on the shoulder rain. Small as a seed, but still somehow found, with my ear to the earth and my hands on the ground. There's a hush in the pines that remembers my name. Not the one I was given, not the one I became. Just a breath, just a shadow, just a spark in the lone. Still walking the distance and calling it home. Where the map runs out, let the dark trail bend. Let the long fields carry what I can't defend. Small as a seed, but still somehow found, with my ear to the earth and my hands on the ground.